Dreams. Happy to everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice. I am your girl, Dr. Telisa Franklin. Welcome to the Dr. Telisa Show. Listen, where we're trending the conversations that our community and our culture needs to have. Yeah. Because if you anything that you know about me, I have been a church girl all of my life, and I say a church girl, but now I have a relationship with God, so whether I'm in the building or not, my relationship is going to shine bright amongst the community. And so many times we see young people in the church or after church, and we start saying they should or could or did, but you have to ask yourself, again, were we the right Bible that a sinner is reading? You know, I always say all the time, my granddaddy would tell me as a young girl that be the Bible that a sinner could read. And so I pray that if a sinner is watching me today, that you've seen my life and my life has been consistent with God. Good, bad, ugly, I've been consistent with God. Having some money, not having no money, being need a whole lot of money, but I was consistent with God because I knew who God was. And I know that when God gives me opportunities, he don't just give me opportunities for me. He give me opportunities to share. And today, I was so blessed many, many years ago to meet a young man. It was really funny how we met, right? Yeah. We met at doing a block party for the MPD because I'm an MPD clergy ambassador, and I was hosting that event.
Yeah, Memphis in Blue.
In Memphis in Blue. Yeah, that's it. And I remember saying, who is this young boy doing all this jumping around and then gave some folks some bait. I call it bait money. But they listen about Jesus, right? Yeah. And I was very impressed. And I remember calling you, getting your number. And it was funny that you knew that, and I think in the back of your head, it was like, what does old woman want with me, right?
I had no clue.
No, but I told you, meet me. You met me at Cracker Barrel. Yeah. Honest. And at that time, many of y'all know I used to own a radio station. Yeah. And I wanted to give opportunities to people that God told me. And I just saw something on you. Yeah. And we got there, and I remember you know, you want to eat all ugly and funky. You know, that ain't the way I eat. You know, you just give me some food, y'all. Ghetto girl just like food. And but you said something to me, and I'll never forget it. Yeah. I offered you the opportunity, but you said, let me pray about it. Yeah. And make sure it was what God wants for your life. Absolutely. Many people have been jumped on it because I asked them, but you said, no, let me get God's approval. Absolutely. And so we all welcome the one and the only pastor, husband, friend, son, international rap artist, and the list goes on. But I call you my little bro. What's up, Enz?
What's poppin', man? We here. To God be the glory.
To God be the glory.
Yeah, we here. What's up?
Yeah, so, you know, Enz, I told, you know, a little bit of how I met you.
Absolutely.
But you got a story.
Yeah.
That many people would never even understand.
Absolutely.
So kind of share with us why you now have a walk with God. But looking at you, let me be clear. Yeah. The old church lady would say, oh, that boy don't know the Lord. Yeah. Look how he dressing. Yeah. Look at he wearing this and he wearing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they just don't know you. Right?
I love it. It's for me, it's a gimmick. Okay. You know, only reason I use the word gimmick, I use it as a cliche. Okay. Right. For those that think of laity. Okay. Right. But in reality, it's a setup for me to prove to you that the oil really runs on my life. Because you can't anticipate the advancements of somebody when you don't really know what you think you know. So it gives me the opportunity to show people that, man, God really can use whoever. He has an unorthodox way of doing things. And he just doesn't use you. He can use whoever he desire. And I'm a living witness of that, right in the flesh. But I grew up in the streets. I grew up in a house with a sanctified grandmama and mama, watching my grandmama get the shouting in the garden. I watched her do that, you know, but the only success I seen was drug dealers. That's the only culture I got a chance to sing. But I was raised right. You know what I mean? You know the Bible says you train up a child in the way you should go, you know. And because of that, man, God has been incredible to me. And I'm just grateful that I'm a vessel. Yes. And that he chose me for this generation to be a voice, to be a bridge builder. Because a lot of young preachers, young people say the old stuff don't work, but it does. We just have to have somebody that can bridge the gap.
You know, when you say bridge the gap, I always share with people I want to continue to be a bridge because I know point A needs point C.
Absolutely.
But sometimes you got to be the B, the person that they can cross over and say,
absolutely,
let me see what's going on. And so, you know, I think about you, Dante. Let's just go back before you were preacher, pastor, amazing father, husband, and all that. But before that, you seen your grandmother be sanctified and saved and all that stuff. But you saw many times we were struggling. We was broke.
Nothing.
We barely had money to pay the light bill. If you was like me, I told somebody the other day, I was riding and I was leaving one of my properties and I saw an MLG&W truck.
Wow.
And it triggered me that when I would see the truck, I said, oh, they finna cut me out.
Yeah. We used to steal lights.
So that's a whole nother. I'm finna tell you about that. So I know all, and I tell people, don't look at me and think I don't understand.
Absolutely.
Oh, I understand for real,
Most
right?
definitely.
So I remember looking for the truck.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the meters being switched over. And then I remember having the cords climbing out the window to the next neighbor's house.
Wow.
So I tell people, don't look at me now.
The glory.
But I got a heck of a story.
Absolutely.
So kind of talk to us because you were raised in what? Klondike?
Hyde Park.
Hyde Park, a community that is desperately working, trying to build it and to help it. But it's some challenges.
Absolutely.
But you saw what we call the dope boys on the corner. They was having the money, the cars, the best of, and the big screen TVs, right?
The flow model.
The flow model TVs. You walked in the house and it was for real, for real.
Absolutely.
Kind of talk about what was life like that growing up, because a lot of times people don't realize what our young people are seeing is why they're mimicking it.
Absolutely. Well, just like I said, the first forward progression I seen in success was drug dealers. My mama raised me in a house on a Social Security check. 5 people in one house, 1 bedroom house. You know, getting commodity boxes and trying to figure out how we're gonna pay the light bill off $600 and some a month. So because of that, I watched those guys have nice cars and nice stuff, and I said, how is it that my mom is going to church every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Friday, but she ain't got no money? How is that? And, but we supposed to trust God. That didn't make sense to me. So the only finances I seen was through them. And I was like, it made me embrace that because those guys told me, man, your mama crazy, and trusting a Jesus and a pastor that's taking her little dollars. And I'm out here with the finances. So it almost tricked me out of my next level because God was setting me up for success in that little 1-bedroom house because of temporary happiness, because of that mess, you know. But I just challenge any young person, like the frame is bigger than the picture sometimes, and you just got to embrace the uncomfortableness of the sacrifice, you know.
And so, you know, when those guys were telling you that, and let's just be real, y'all.
Yeah.
While we see when we call, you know, the word now of YN, right? These YNs are being told you just wouldn't call a YN then, but it's what's happening now.
Absolutely.
The YNs are being recruited by people that make it look glamorous.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, with social media, it makes it worse because the glamour is in the crime.
Absolutely.
But nobody tells you what comes behind the glamour. And so how were you able to hide it, per se, trying to live a double life, right?
I always had morals.
Okay.
Because I was raised right, I always had a moral compass. I should tell my dad, even while I was trapping, even while I was selling dope, I said, Daddy, I want the house with the white picket fence. I didn't know what that meant then, but I just knew I wanted that. So even then, just like you said, I eat crazy. Even while I ain't be in the streets, I wanted quail, I wanted elk. I wanted to live a nice life. I just didn't know that I wanted to be a man of substance, a man of integrity, a man of character. So because of that, I maintained that, even while being ignorant. You know, and because of that, it has always kept me calibrated. You know?
And so because your mom, your grandma, they were trying to give you that. And many times our young people right now, the parents are trying to give them that better life. But y'all, we got to be, let's go to the church.
Yeah.
We have to make sure when our children come to the church, we're making them see the realness of relationship with God.
Absolutely.
And giving them the desire to wait on God for the white picket fence.
Yeah.
And not thinking that they got to get it right now.
Absolutely.
But a lot of times I can truly say, sometimes the church, we have fallen by telling the truth.
Yeah.
Right? And I always share with the church that I didn't get to my life overnight.
Yeah.
I had heartaches and pains, didn't have the right foundation, but God kept me through it all.
Absolutely.
Right? And so here you are, young man in Hyde Park, trying to find your way. Mama and grandma giving you the way.
Yeah.
Did you have any mentors that was trying to push you in the right direction versus the influence of the other mentors trying to push you the wrong way?
My dad had an incredible friend.
Okay.
That was a mentor to me, that taught me the opposite of what my dad taught me. And I love my dad, incredible father, but took me and raised me, made me quit selling dope, turned me to a kid again, made me go to school, taught me how to be articulate, and he polished me early. He said, Dante, you got the it factor, you're just too stupid to know it. And because of that, he did that for me.
And I always tell people it matters to have the right mentor in your life.
Absolutely.
And I can be real, y'all. Mentors ain't always gonna tell you how I feel good.
No, it hurt.
Mentors gonna tell you to cut your tail to the core.
Yeah.
But if you listen to that mentor, you listen to that person that want to see you succeed, then you'll see yourself years later say, "Dang, they was right."
Absolutely.
But it didn't feel good.
Oh, it hurt it.
Because I'm sure there was some days like, who the heck is he trying to tell me?
Well, I was having a little money. So you talking to a 15-year-old that got his own duplex, got his own car.
Yeah.
Got $7,000. You go, I'm grown. And he put me back in a child place.
Yeah. And you needed that.
I needed that. It changed my life.
My God. Hey, y'all listening to the Dr. Telisa Show. Stay tuned. We got more conversations for our community and our culture.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
Show
to dreams we chase, Dr. Telisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In every
Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's a
Show.
story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel. Here at the Dr. Telisa Show.
It's time for an upgrade. Let's upgrade your skincare routine. If you suffer from acne scars, dark spots, or severe hyperpigmentation, you need the Tones by Coco Brightening Moisturizer, Rapid Dark Spot Corrector, and you have to try our Kojic Acid Sea Moss Soap. These products work so fast, you can see results in just 7 days. You have to try. Shop now and get 10% off your first order at tonesbycoco.com.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
Show.
to dreams we chase, Dr. Telisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In every
Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's a
Show.
story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel. Here at the Dr. Telisa Show.
We're back on the Dr. Telisa Franklin Show. You know what? I'm Telisa, y'all, and I'm super excited to be here. I am sitting here with my dear brother, my friend. I love him with all of my heart. Dante Purnell, a.k.a. Enz, a.k.a. a good old cat, y'all. He's a good guy. So, Dante, we were talking about because many people see Enz, but they don't know there was a Dante that was selling dope at 15, had their own car at 15, had their own duplex.
I went to jail at 12.
And oh Jesus, you went to jail at 12.
At 12 years
old.
old.
So now let's talk about the real, how life turned. So here you was doing all this, but the folk was engulfing you to tell you to sell this dope, but they never told you there was a thing called JAIL.
Yeah, I didn't know that existed. But I was so busy chasing the money that I never thought jail existed because I thought I was slick. And that's what's wrong with a lot of young people. We got smart mouths and dumb brains and can't nobody tell us nothing. And we get a little bit of progression and we move a little bit and get a little money. And we think we're smarter than our elders. And that's the place that I was in. And jail and prison was the best thing that ever happened to me because it forced me to sit down. It forced me to listen to the voice of God. I had no other choice because it put me in a place where I had to yield.
Yeah. So let's go back to you at age 12, selling dope. How did the police stop you? What was that like by it being the first time?
Well, when I went to jail at 12 years old, I was breaking into school. So at the time, they were putting PlayStations in school early when I was in elementary, and I went 3 days in a row. I'm breaking in, stealing the PlayStations, going in Hyde Park, selling them, and I went back the third time. And here's the messed up part that convicted me. Somebody called my mom and told her I was breaking into school. My mama came to get me while I was in the school. Police showed up and arrested my mama too. And my mama coming to whoop my butt. So that moment convicted me. It wasn't even going to jail. It was the fact that I got my mama. This lady is saved, and I got this lady in trouble. That hurt it more than anything. So that was a turning point. But my mama not having finances still made me go back to
the street.
Made me go back to it because how is it that this woman is incredible, a woman of character, a woman of substance, and still don't got no money? It ain't make no sense to me. I was like, you love Jesus, you're paying your tithes.
Yeah.
But you ain't got no money. But I didn't understand what education was. I didn't understand financial literacy. I didn't know none of that stuff then. But it's because of prison that I know that now. But I don't think young people should have to go to that dark place where you got an opportunity to turn and change and embrace God now.
And you said something when your mom went to jail. There are so many young people right now, they don't fully understand what they're putting their parents through.
Hurting them.
Because there are some mamas lying that little Pookie and Ray Ray ain't in that house, and when the police knock on the door, and now you gonna have your mama thrown on the ground because they mad because you lying, but all it was because you was a mama. Yeah.
Well, my mama told me he in there. yeah, cause he in there, baby. I'm not going to jail for you. But I love her for that. I love her for that. I think a lot of young people need moms like that. Yeah. Because now we want to be the kids' friends.
And the friends ain't making it, honey.
Absolutely.
Because we got y'all YNs, y'all something else, but I'm asking the Lord to deliver y'all and
different.
set y'all free.
There's a lack of morality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And social media. Social media makes them be social media famous.
Absolutely.
But nobody tells them about the dark nights.
Absolutely.
They're going to have in jail.
Absolutely.
So here you are at age 12, went to jail. And that's the thing, y'all. I keep telling folk, and people say, stop buying that hot stuff because you know they didn't buy it. Yeah. Now you going to buy it, and then you're hurting that person. Because now they feel like they slick. Absolutely. You did it one time and got away with it. You did it 2 times and got away with it. So by that time you thought I
thought I had it.
You were never going to get it. And so we got to be very mindful of making sure that we are accountable. Absolutely. So here you are at this point of your life, did that at age 12, but fast forward at 15, you didn't stop.
I did not stop. I didn't stop. I kept going. It really went to a high level. Sitting on $20,000, $30,000 in 9th grade at Cypress Middle School. I remember Mr. Vassar calling my mama. I got caught shooting dice, and they found $8,000 in the locker.
Oh wow!
But none of this nothing to brag on because it don't mean nothing. Yeah. But it's just the stuff that when you're in that environment, is what you embrace, is what I thought was popular, is what I thought was cool, it's what I thought was relevant. But it really was killing me.
Yeah.
You know.
And it'll kill you. And a lot of times that we think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
But it's not the way to go.
No.
Because, I remember I was out in the neighborhood and I pulled up on these young boys. And I tell y'all, it hurt my soul. When I say it hurt my soul, I saw some young boys. They couldn't have been no more than about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Shooting dice. And they said, go on, church lady. We love you, church lady. Go on. I said, if y'all can get y'all tail up, I'm going to go find y'all mamas. They like, church lady, go on there, church lady. Because these the same kids would see me coming in after church. I was like, come on, let's go to the pantry and get you some food, right? Let's get you some snacks or whatever I had. And so they knew my heart. But at the same time, I think they was pulling to steal the streets because that's what they wanted, right? And so then after the fact, I thought about it. Much as they loved me, but I was in the way of them getting their money. And that's all they could think about was the money. But they kept saying, go on, church lady. Go on, church lady. Other words, we love you, but we're finna keep shooting these dice.
I still got to eat.
I still got to eat. Because you only going to feed me when I see you, but I got to eat every day.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, I see young people now are taking that money and taking it back home to help mama.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, majority of the people that are in the streets, they're not here to be detrimental. They're in survival mode. And that's all they know. That's the first opportunity that's presented. Streets, hustling, robbing, or or something like that. Other than that, they don't know nothing else. There's no other opportunities presented. So
here you are now. Fast forward many years later, the world knows you now as hot hip hop inspirational rapper. Enz. Tell me about it.
It's one of the most incredible things that can happen. God privileged me to be ambidextrous. I'm anointed to preach the gospel, but I'm cultured. I think I'm one of the most incredible rappers. I can hang with the best of them, but I don't run from the gospel. And because I preach the gospel, it has privileged me to matriculate to crazy levels.
Wow. So kind of talk about your career as a hip hop artist and all the platforms and all the things you've been on and how your ministry is moving on speed of light like you never thought it would be.
Well, everybody needs, how can I say it? Everybody need a pastor. I just call myself the trap pastor. Because you got a generation of young people that don't understand the church culture like you and I do. So they, how I might come in and say, look at your neighbor and shout neighbor. They don't understand all that. So I just talk to them and say, look, man, you got to get from an ounce to a 3.5. It's a process. God can use you too. If God can use the kids, he can use you. But here it is, man. You got to be integral. Your hands got to be clean. Your heart got to be pure. But it's a process. And God has just privileged me to be a vessel and let them see my failures. I failed in front of their face and showed them how I use God.
Because a lot of times we do fall. But we try to hide our fall so will nobody see it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's imperative for people to see the fall.
If
you see my fall, but you also going to see my rise too.
Absolutely.
Because even when I fall, I was on my face asking God to lift me up again.
Absolutely.
Because I know for a fact there was times in my life I was at the worst point of my life. I said, God, if you get me out of this one, I promise you now,
I'm going to do right.
I'm going to do right. And that I did right. I'm going to do right for the rest. I don't care who else don't live right. Baby, go do right. You.
I tell people all the time that me being anointed has been more troubling than being a gifted rapper.
Come on.
Because being anointed gives me more influence. I don't care nothing about having street credit. I can preach. Like that's one of the most dangerous places I could be in.
Absolutely.
Because I never experienced it before. That's one reason I stay over there. To stay out of that culture that I can't control. And I'm grateful to God that he trusts me with it. And I just use that.
And you gotta know your place.
Absolutely.
You gotta know where you are. And where you going.
Absolutely.
I always share a lot of times, even when they come down to my son, I said, son, you going somewhere now. Don't get off track. Don't get distracted.
Most definitely.
I said, because the enemy want to distract you. But I'm trying to tell you, you stay the course. It ain't no success happening overnight.
No, it's a process.
It's a process. And the process is still yay and amen.
Yeah, he got it though. That boy.
I'm grateful. I am grateful.
That boy
for
got
him.
it.
I'm grateful to be his mama.
Absolutely, he got it. The apple don't fall that far.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he got it.
He sometimes do too much without his mama.
Yeah, he got it.
But that's the same thing with you, Dante.
Yeah.
Your children are gonna want to walk in your footsteps. I look at little DJ. He ready to bob his head and jump on stage somewhere because he saw his daddy do it.
Absolutely.
So what's gonna happen? A child gonna do what their parents do.
Absolutely.
As parents, we have to be good role models.
Absolutely.
For our children.
Absolutely.
We can't get mad at them if they're stray
Yeah.
if we never showed them the right way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Dante, Enz, Pastor, I forgot to tell y'all that, y'all.
Yeah.
Memphis, Tennessee, the beauty of it, Memphis, Tennessee can't hold you down.
Nah.
This is just your space for an address. But one thing I know that you are an international star, and you're shining his light. The Bible says he that winneth the soul has to be wise.
Yeah.
And you winning souls on all these stages.
To God be the glory.
Keep being wise, Enz.
For sure.
I'm telling you.
To God be the glory.
Off. Hey, y'all, I'm your girl, Dr. Telisa Franklin. We'll be right back. Know that if you are not making sure you staying connected, what's wrong with you? All right, y'all. We'll be back in a moment right here on the Dr. Telisa Show.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
Show.
to dreams we chase, Dr. Talisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In every
Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's
Show.
a story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel. Here at the Dr. Talisa Show.
It's time for upgrade. Let's upgrade your skincare routine. If you suffer from acne scars, dark spots, or severe hyperpigmentation, you need the Tones by Coco Brightening Moisturizer, Rapid Dark Spot Corrector, and you have to try our Kojic Acid Sea Moss Soap. These products work so fast, you can see results in just 7 days. You have to try. Shop now and get 10% off your first order at tonesbycoco.com.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
Show.
to dreams we chase, Dr. Talisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In every
Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's a
Show.
story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel. Here at the Dr. Talisa Show.
Happy day, everybody. I'm your girl, Dr. Telisa Franklin. You're listening and you're watching Dr. Telisa Show. I get excited to have conversations with amazing people that are doing community and all about the culture. Today, y'all, we're sitting here with Pastor Dante Purnell, Dante himself. But y'all, it's all about Enz. Enz.
Yeah.
Let's talk. We've seen your story.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about the rise to the glory, right?
Absolutely.
So you went from growing up in Hyde Park, growing up with a life of sin, doing whatever you thought you was big and bad enough to do, going to jail. Let's talk about when you got to jail. I know you talked to the Lord freed your soul. But then what did he tell you to do?
There was a young man in my cell, which is your bunkie. His mom was a pastor. He was in jail for taking a prescription paper off his pill bottle. So basically in the state of Tennessee, that's a felony, but he really didn't do anything. His mom was a pastor. I was facing a significant amount of time, and I was guilty. But he would put scriptures on my bed and pray for me out loud. I didn't even know them. And I had to go do what you call a preliminary hearing to either plead guilty or either take it to trial. And one day he said, my mom want to talk to you. His mom was a pastor. He could only call on Wednesdays 15 minutes before Bible study. I said, man, I don't want to talk to no preacher, man. I'm guilty. I'm finna go to jail. He said, man, my mom want to talk to you. I got on the phone with the lady. She said, young man, if you say yes to God, you're not going to do the time you're going to think you're going to do, and your life going to change. She hung up in my face. I went back to court a couple weeks later, and they said you can either plead guilty or either take it to trial. Man, I went back and I cried like a baby trying to be tough. I said, man, call your mom. He said, I can only call on Wednesday. I said, call her, I pay for it. She said, young man, you're not going to do the time you think you're going to do if you say yes to God. Hung up in my face. And she continued to stay consistent with me. I called her back. She ended up putting money on my book, but he could only call her on Wednesdays. But I could call her every day. She let me call her. She said, son, if you say yes to God, I said, I don't know how to say yes to God. They have this thing inside the prison for those guys that's watching that's been incarcerated. In the pod, it went from in the press circuit, went from 3 to 63 people with me praying in prison.
Wow.
I had never heard the story about Paul and Silas worshiping until I went to jail. I ended up not doing the time. I ended up doing 90 days for a charge that I was supposed to have been serving 15, 20 years. I never met the lady. I had a hold in Millington Prison. Still ain't met the lady. It was $5,000. The lady came and paid the $5,000 cash. Still ain't met her. I preached my first Sunday sermon that next day. I've been preaching ever since.
Wow. And you know, it's amazing how God will set you up.
Yeah.
All because of your obedience of a yes.
Absolutely.
A lot of times God want to take us to the next level.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we can't get there because we're afraid to say yes, or we let pride hold us back from that yes.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I'm just grateful that you said yes. So here's your yes. You're in jail telling people about Jesus the Christ.
Absolutely.
Now you're out. What does life look like?
Struggle, broke. God tested me.
Yeah, because you were ready to go back to what you knew.
What God? This I don't want this Jesus.
Yeah.
But it was a struggle. But I realized in my conviction that God, I know He tested me to see if my yes is sincere, if I'm really real. I love my wife, incredible wife. She worked as a phlebotomist, and she used to give me $20. She said, put 10 in the car and go get you something to eat. To show my wife I was grateful for her, I go take that same 20 and go buy her flowers. You know, and because I did stuff like that, God always awarded me.
Yeah.
You know,
God honors sacrifice.
absolutely.
I would tell you. So here you are now. When did you start being a rapper?
Well, I grew up rapping. I knew I was going to be a rapper my whole life. I was rapping even at 12 years old. But believe it or not, financially, it didn't start making sense for me until I started gospel rapping.
Wow, so you did the other rapping first.
I was doing the other rapping first, traveling with the biggest of the biggest, making beats and all of that. But it didn't make me no real money until I started rapping for Jesus.
Wow. And you had if anybody know you, you had all the means to be that big rapper,
Most
right?
definitely. I'm connected.
Very connected.
Yeah.
But you chose Jesus.
Absolutely. I chose Jesus. And because I chose Jesus, it's the best thing ever. It turned me into a better artist, turned me into a better person. Vision has clarity now, and I know where I'm going.
Makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Makes a difference. So here you are. Talk about your project. What was your first piece that you did that you knew from on the gospel side, not so much on the other side? What was the first piece you did on the gospel
Let
side?
Me Be Great we put out 6 years ago. I did about 100,000 streams, and I had no clue it was going to do that. I didn't even know what streams was.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you have the Enz name in the world? Okay.
Yeah, it was it always been Young Enz is a name I got. It was Young Enz at first, being the youngest guy in the room, and I always had that money as a young guy. And I never wanted to hang around young guys.
Okay.
I always respected older people, and they always said I'm the young dude that act old.
Right.
Yeah, so I just took that and just carried it on.
Wow, that's something.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you did that project, and then tell me how other things led to it.
So it was a challenge at first because I didn't understand the culture of gospel rap. I thought I could use the same approach as secular, and it doesn't work that way.
No.
It didn't. But I thought that.
Yeah.
But what separated me from the other guys is I'm a preacher and I'm sanctified. I'm not a teacher. I'm a preacher.
Yeah.
And none of them are that. And shout out to all the guys that do gospel rap, but I'm sanctified.
Yeah.
So they had never seen it before. So they was like, which one you going to do? You going to be a preacher? You going to be a rapper? I'm going to do both of them.
Yeah.
And because of that, it got me other opportunities that they couldn't get. So it made me skip the process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fast forward.
Yeah.
I love it.
I skipped. It's some stuff that I wish I would have went through, but I had people like you that covered me.
Oh, Lord. God always put the right people in. But what I always tell people, you got to keep your heart clean. Keep
Absolutely.
your hands and your heart clean.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times, people that have opportunities, but they can see that you just blood-sucking leech.
Yeah.
You just want to leech on them for this,
Absolutely.
what you can get, right?
Absolutely.
But if you start walking in rooms and saying, what can I walk away with this? Or how could I serve and get to that next level?
Absolutely.
Then the doors open up, because I believe in my heart of hearts that the Lord sees our heart.
Absolutely.
He knows our heart. And in the streets, the young people say, gang recognize gang.
Gang, peep gang.
Baby,
Yeah.
you can peep it. But here you are. And there hadn't been a time that I hadn't seen you being fully engaged in your work.
Absolutely.
Even from being Pastor Dante.
Yeah.
What always would impress me, your church service was late in the day because you
1:30.
understood the culture.
Yeah.
Young folk ain't getting up early, right? Y'all ain't getting up for no 8 o'clock service or 9 o'clock service.
10 or 11.
You hear me? But by 11, you may be just rolling over.
Yeah.
So you may can get to the church by 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how did that really work out for you? Because I would always laugh. When I come, I said, baby, I feel like I'm fully young. It's all young folk in here, and they all look like they just took a nap and woke up.
Yeah. We used to go to the club at nighttime, Saturdays before church. Saturday night, we'll go pass our flyers, put them on cards at the church.
Yeah.
And the majority of those people will come. So I wanted the weed smokers. I wanted the people that didn't understand church culture, but really, I used to preach funerals all the time, and I used to love to hear the boys say, my pastor, you preach, bro. Oh, God, man, you preach. Yeah. But those are the people I want, because I was one of those people. Yeah. But it took somebody like you that understood me, to cultivate me, mold me, see my heart, to say, he just don't know no better, but he loved God. Yeah. He just need to be molded. And I want to be the person that somebody was for me.
Yeah. Pay it forward.
Yeah.
And pay it forward. I always share that when I didn't truly know who Telisa Franklin was.
No, you that girl.
Some people knew it but didn't want me to know it because they used it for their benefit.
Absolutely.
But then the day that I had the right people come in my life,
my God, and
tell me, you know who your name is?
Yeah. And
I was like, Telisa. No, you gotta say it. And that's when I literally started saying, Telisa Franklin ain't just a name.
No.
It's a brand.
Most definitely.
Everything that I do represents Christ. I don't care what stage I'm on. If I'm in the club hosting a blues show, I'm still gonna say hallelujah, thank you, Jesus.
Ain't he all right?
Because what I have learned is that somebody will look at me and say, man, she don't even act like the other preachers. Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm glad you asked. Yeah. Let me tell you why.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I don't want you to look at me and say, oh, she's off. Yeah. Right? And even in your world, I never forget, you came to church and you received what I said. Because you went to a traditional Baptist church.
I remember.
And so you come in with that dang old hat on your head.
Yeah, in the pulpit.
And I knew the folk my age and older had shut you down.
Yeah.
So I gladly reached over to you and said, take that out. Now you could have said, "Man, that's my swag, sis." No. But you was but then I came back and I helped you understood. Yeah. And if you notice, the walls of their faces came down. Absolutely. Because now they felt like you was respecting the house of the Lord. Absolutely. Young folk, I know we love a good hat, but y'all boys, y'all men, take them hats off, especially when you go to these traditional churches, because you don't want them to start looking at you and perceiving that you're this bad person, but really you're not. You're just doing the culture.
Absolutely.
You know, I remember even down to the ladies. I have to share with ladies, yes, your legs may be pretty, baby, but put your last card and wear you something a little longer, right? I shouldn't be able, if I leave home, and if I bend down to touch my toes and I can feel the air on my behind, I know that skirt or that dress too short.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what it looked like standing up, bend down and touch your toes.
Yeah.
If it's scratching and you seeing your panty line,
Yeah.
you know that's too short. Put something else on.
Absolutely.
But then you'll have the people say, well, God says soles and not clothes, baby. I get that. But there's a time and place.
Or come as you are.
Or come as you are. You ain't going to go to court like that.
No.
And the judge is giving you the fate on what he say. Well, come to God, right?
Absolutely.
And so, but I was always impressed that you didn't get upset, but I always share, especially with young people, because I understand where y'all are.
Absolutely.
But I also try to help be that bridge.
Absolutely.
So that the older generation won't lose you.
Absolutely.
Because there's something I feel your generation has for me.
Absolutely.
And I feel my generation has something for you.
Most definitely.
But we can never do it if we break the bridge before we can cross over.
Wow.
And so, Enz, I'm amazed, appreciative of all the things your music has done, because you're screaming, you can get, you can go anywhere and get your music.
Oh, yeah.
So how did that make a Hyde Park little boy, Dante, feel that you can go, your music can be anywhere?
One of the greatest feelings is getting them checks in the mail.
Oh, Lord, the money.
That was the art is gonna be there. I believe in the art. Is when the BMI checks hit.
That make a difference.
Yeah, that make a difference. And my wife can be quiet.
Yeah. And so y'all, we even gonna talk about it in my final segment. The business.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times I've seen, whether they're gospel, they're jazz, they're hip hop, they're blues, R&B, learn the business.
Yeah, it's 90% being is 10% talent.
You can find people that cannot sing, cannot rap, but if they got their business in control,
they winning.
They are going to outsell you,
winning,
and outmarket you because they understand the business.
Absolutely.
And like I know, Dante, we all have people that got money in their hands too fast. Yeah. And if they get that money in their hands too fast, and they never had any financial literacy, they're going to be just as broke.
Absolutely.
Even more. And then the people that they help is going to talk about them and make them feel like a stone cold.
You didn't do nothing.
All because, let's think about it. We that grew up in certain communities, did nobody teach us about financial literacy? Nobody taught us about credit. Nobody taught us about going to a bank. Nobody taught us that. So a lot of us learned it from hard knocks.
Absolutely.
Right? And then even if we had the right people to tell us, we didn't listen.
Absolutely. Had to learn at our own expense.
I'm a living witness. 30 plus years ago, I had an uncle that had a car lot, very successful. And when I was in business, he would tell me, go to the bank every day. And I was making 50-something cents a day, some days $2 a day. I said, I ain't going to the bank for that. Yeah. But I remember what he said.
Wow.
You can't run your business out your pocket.
Wow.
And I didn't listen for the first season of my life. And I went back to those conversations.
That's good.
And if anybody know, I don't even barely keep cash on me because I don't run my business out of my pocket.
I like that.
Because if you keep it in your pocket, you ain't going to do right by it, right?
Yeah,
so you got to be very, very...
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
Show
to dreams we chase, Dr. Talisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In
At
every
the Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's
Show.
a story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel.
Here at the Dr. Telisa Show.
It's time for upgrade. Let's upgrade your skincare routine. If you suffer from acne scars, dark spots, or severe hyperpigmentation, you need the Tones by Coco Brightening Moisturizer, Rapid Dark Spot Corrector, And you have to try our Kojic Acid Sea Moss Soap. These products work so fast, you can see results in just 7 days. You have to try. Shop now and get 10% off your first order at tonesbycoco.com.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
Show
to dreams we chase, Dr. Talisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In
At the
every
Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's
Show.
a story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel. Here at the Dr. Talisa Show.
Do not understand the business of the entertainment game, baby, don't even pick up the game. Ends. Help us, because there's so many people that have no clue of the entertainment game.
Absolutely. First, it goes off influence. If you don't have culture and your personality, you almost lost already. No matter how much talent you got, but it's 90% being, it's 10% talent. Especially if you're getting in the music side of it, you got to understand your back office, understand your targeted audience, know what your analytics are, know how to control your back office, because that's where the real finances come from.
And I think that's in any business. Business, know how to handle your books. I remember, Dante, when I was in business, when I first started,